Weird Al was famous for his curly hair, Hawaiian clothes, and goofy lyrics. At 65, he's finally revealing his secret existence. He had stringent personal regulations behind the scenes. He went vegetarian in 1992. He requested permission for parodies when not required. He wouldn't compromise for fame. After 5 Grammys and 12 million records sold, he reveals why being himself was his greatest success. Alfred Yankovic was born in a quiet Downey neighborhood on October 23, 1959. Nick and Mary Yankovic, a working-class couple who lived cheaply and carefully watched over their Zasen, had one child, him. Mary was a secretary, Nick an industrial worker. Alfred rarely played with other kids. His dad warned him about lady diseases. His boyhood was spent alone in the house, yet this unusual calm world allowed him to explore music and comedy like other youngsters never could. His upbringing wasn't secluded. He brewed something odd and magnificent in that silence. A door-to-door salesman knocked before his 7th birthday, turning his life around. He sold music instruction. Simple choice, guitar or accordion. Though unrelated, his parents selected the accordion because they shared a surname with legendary poker player Frankie Yankovic. One decision started everything. Al practiced incessantly. Nobody's meant plenty of time. He educated himself after 3 years of lessons. Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road played one day. Became obsessed. He repeated it on his accordion. His voice emerged from that strange instrument in his bizarre universe. He skipped a grade after starting school early, so he was always the youngest in class. He was undersized, ungainly, and out of sync. He was 16 when he started college. Sierra Madre Tower, room 43G, Cal Poly was his home. His roommates felt he was unusual. He avoided towel walking to the showers. He carried his clothes. They once snatched them for fun. He returned by wrapping himself in a shower curtain. People called him Odd Al. Al did something unexpected after the insult. He accepted. He was no jock or party animal in high school. He was valedictorian, a public speaker, and the founder of the Volcano Worshippers, a bogus school group, to acquire another yearbook photo. One of the yearbook team's creative caption writers. He embraced being different, not simply standing out. Cal Poly accepted him to pursue architecture when he graduated at 16. It was safe and practical, but he had other thoughts. Even in architectural school, Al stood out. His professor spotted him playing his accordion into a urinal the night before a deadline. In fact, he had accomplished the work. As usual, he did his own thing. He received good grades, but he was drawn to comedy, music, and that unusual name everyone kept calling him. KCPR, the student radio station, hired him as a DJ in his 2nd year. The fit was amazing. He was known as Weird Al on air. He didn't flee. He built on it. His presentations featured unusual music and comic sketches no one else could do. He intentionally crossed lines, joked, and got strange. It was chaotic and his. Some allege he flushed a toilet live on air, but he denied it. How this collegiate radio booth shaped him wasn't a fairy tale. 1978 followed. Al recorded his first song, Take Me Down, for a local charity CD. It started but wasn't big. San Luis Obispo landmarks were mocked in the lyrics. It was odd, humorous, and charming with his accordion. That uncomfortable little instrument was starting to sound like something people may want to hear, but nothing could prepare him for what occurred next. It began in a men's bathroom. The 19-year-old college DJ Alfred Yankovic stood in a tiled lavatory at California Polytechnic State University with only his accordion, a cheap tape recorder, and a bizarre idea. The room echoed well, so he recorded there. He parodied NAC's My Sharona there. His version was My Bologna. He emailed Dr. Demento, a comedic radio personality, The food-themed twist. The response was overwhelming. Audiences enjoyed it. It garnered more attention than most other games that year. Everything changed then. The Knack performed at Yankovic College. He met Doug Fieger, the band's lead singer, backstage, nervous but excited. Fieger told a Capitol Records executive to disclose this instead of dismissing him. Capitol Records purchased the song for $500 and released it. My Bologna debuted on Christmas Day 1979 and sold 10,000 copies in a month. It was the start of an unexpected career, but it wasn't easy after that. By 1982, most record labels thought Dr. Demento was a joke, even with more songs on his show. They called parodies one-hit wonders. They avoided risk. Yankovic subsequently claimed, "They believed I'd have one hit and go, but he kept going." He parodied Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll as I Love Rocky Road. It was catchy, odd, and energetic. Producer Rick Derringer is a guitar legend. Better yet, manager Jay Levy sent the music to a LA radio station. Instant reaction, not enough for fans. That airplay convinced Rock and Roll Records' Tad Dowd to sign Yankovic to Scotti Brothers. His first album was underway. 1983 saw his debut album. Fans got everything they desired. The scratchy, amusing Another One Rides the Bus, Mickey's Ricky spoof of I Love Lucy, and the re-recorded My Bologna. The album pumped. Yankovic performed live for true fans on the East Coast and Midwest with Dr. Demento. It was his people. The shows were odd, funny, and hilarious. The Mad Magazine-inspired album cover fit Yankovic's style. He got his Ricky music video on MTV, which was new at the time. That tiny achievement gave him the confidence to quit his mailroom job and pursue music. Not everything went well. In 1982, he and his band opened for Missing Persons, a new wave band. The split was intended to be big. The result was a disaster. Comedy and accordion playing didn't appeal to the audience. They booed, flung items, and humiliated him for 45 painful minutes. Yankovic was crushed. A boy approached him as he returned to his car, humiliated and fatigued. "Are you odd, Al Yankovic?" he inquired. Al smiled and agreed. "I am." The child stared at him and remarked, "You stink." That moment almost ended everything, but it didn't. He learned from it. Do not perform for unappreciative audiences. After that, he played for his followers, people who came to hear parodies and giggle at goofy lyrics. His career was shaped by that choice. Weird Al Yankovic didn't succeed by playing things safe. Being weird, brave, and unlike anything in music made him one. No one believed a parody song would be successful in the 1980s. On December 13, 1983, Al recorded Eat It, a funny cover of Beat It by Michael Jackson. Nobody anticipated it to smash when it debuted in February 1984. It reached number 12 in the US, but number 1 in Australia, beating Michael Jackson. Al joked that the music video worked because he looked like Jackson. No shots were changed. In secret, he called Jackson to get permission. Jackson agreed and felt the notion was humorous. A green light helped Al win his first Grammy. For over 2 decades, Eat It was his biggest U.S. hit. His manner also dominated the act. Big curly hair, loud Hawaiian clothing, and the accordion made him instantly recognized. The food songs followed. His label released the Food album in 1993, a comprehensive anthology of 10 food-related songs because he wrote so many. It didn't appeal to Al. He believed it was a label ploy, but fans went crazy. Interestingly, Girls Just Want to Have Lunch, which Al hated, wasn't included. He simply recorded it because his label insisted. Food jokes persisted. He asked Kurt Cobain about parodying Smells Like Teen Spirit, and Cobain answered, "It's not about food, is it?" Al assured it wasn't. Even grunge luminaries liked its honest, odd charm. Al did more than write tunes. On April 1, 1984, MTV gave him full control for a few hours. He used ALTV to play his music videos, edit fake celebrity interviews, and add weird bits. It was messy, silly, and addictive. He made 10 specials over 20 years. They were on his albums and must-sees for fans. Al gave MTV something no one else could in its early years when they had little to air. He gained a cult following by making comedy seem like music. After Polka Party failed, Weird Al Yankovic needed a win. Founded in 1988 with Even Worse. The album debuted on April 12th and was a hit. It spent 26 weeks at number 27 on Billboard 200. In 3 months, it turned gold. It went platinum in 1994. First album to sell 1 million copies for Weird Al. Fat, a parody of Michael Jackson's Bad, was crucial to the success. MTV ran the video constantly, and it won a Grammy for Best Concept Music Video. The album was promoted by Weird Al's May 1988 Family Double Dare appearance. Finally, things were looking up, but not for long. UHF was Weird Al's 1989 film. Early signals were good. Test audiences adored it. They scored as high as the original RoboCop screenings. Weird Al hoped to make movies. UHF bombed in theaters that summer. Criticism was severe. The timing was awful. UHF competed with Batman, Indiana Jones, and The Last Crusade, Ghostbusters 2, and Lethal Weapon 2. There was no chance. It was taken from theaters in July. UHF's failure hurt Weird Al. From 1989 to 1992, he battled. He considered it his worst creative rut. Orion Pictures wanted him to be the new Woody Allen, but once the movie tanked, no one answered. Industry buddies shunned him like a sickness. Later, Weird Al said nobody wanted eye contact. He doubted he could continue. Though not depressed, he felt miserable. He spent a few years licking his wounds, unsure if comedy or music were his calling.